here's what happened last time on the Incorrigible Party.
Putting on a convincing show as Erica and Sardo, Shaft and Mia are able to start the cultists' evacuation plan and learn that the doppelgangers have been sent to the mainland at Erica's behest. Wary of probing with too many questions, they hasten their departure from the encampment, leaving it abuzz with activity. Meanwhile, Shikara and Falzaren are drawn to a group of figures moving in the mountains below them. Swooping down to investigate, they discover Allamar and a handful of survivors from the Port Heraklion attack, making their way towards the city. Confronting the head elder, their talks turn violent as Shikara gets a hold of and smashes Allamar's green-black elixir.
And now, back to the adventure.
Okay, why don't you run me your initiatives?
Nat 20, but I don't have any bonus, so a 20 for Falzaren.
13 for Shikara.
And Dreg got an 8.
What are the other wizards and the 2 armored people doing?
At Allamar's yell is the anger. It's kind of seen throughout this exchange, as it's getting more and more heated, that they start to shift. All 4 of them seems like they begin to really uncomfortable, and they kind of idly shift their weight. And as we are entering this, the 2 swashbucklers, a hand kind of grasping the hilt of a rapier that's at their side. But Falzaren is first in initiative.
Oh, frig, what do I do? I was not prepared for this. Did not think we were going to be rolling initiative against Allamar. I cast Lehman's Tiny Hut.
Pretty sure Allamar can dispel that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Oh man, this is going to be a friggin' nightmare.
This is one of those things where you gotta try and lower the stress level of this situation and not all-out attack, I think. Because we will get our asses handed to us.
So you're saying we need to de-escalate this?
Yeah, that's the word I wanted,
And not kill him?
I don't think we can.
I know, I agree. I don't know how to de-escalate
Although
this.
I didn't think we'd kill Erica either, so I don't know. What do I know?
So he has 3 young wizards plus 2...
2 young wizards and 2 people in armor. So there's 5 of them total versus
3 of us
the
with
2
2
of you
Pegasuses.
and Dreg, depending what Dreg does.
And you going first is going to set the tone. No pressure, though.
My heart rate right now is for 120.
I know. I couldn't give the bottle back to him. I just couldn't.
I know.
You couldn't
I'm glad you did that. That was awesome. But I didn't think it was going to be roll initiative.
What the did you think was going to happen?
I thought he was just going to be really mad.
But see reason eventually. I mean, really, we're right.
Oh, I'm almost out of friggin' spell slots too.
Yeah, I got 2.
Is it possible to roll initiative and then stop fighting? Is that even a thing we can try to achieve?
You can absolutely try to say something, but then the people you're speaking to, you'll have to wait till their turns to see what they do.
Or hold your action and say, if they attack me, I will attack back.
Yes, you can ready an action, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind if you ready a spell, the way that works,
I'll lose it.
yes, if the instance that would trigger it doesn't happen, you lose that spell slot.
You could always cast a shield or something. Defensive.
I'm leaning towards Blink. It's not going to damage anyone. It protects me. It's my last 3rd level spell slot.
He could hop on the Pegasus and fly up in the air.
There is still that option.
Could he do both things? Could he cast Blink and jump on the Pegasus?
Yeah, it only costs half your movement to get on it.
Blink isn't an inherently bad spell, right? It's not evil. It's not necromancy. I'm going to do that. Yeah, so Falzaren is going to... I think he's going to mount the Pegasus first. And then mutter some incantations. Wave his fingers through the air and cast Blink. And I can still say something, right?
Yeah, because you roll for it at the end of your turn.
Yeah. Allamar, let's be reasonable about this. There's no need for us to waste our energy when we have these foes right in front of us attacking our city. We both want what's best for the city, Allamar. So, let's see what Blink does.
Oh, so you're on the Pegasus. What are you doing?
I mean, if I'm able to, I'd like it for it to take off.
Okay, would you like it to disengage?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so it can disengage and it does have 90 flight speed, so you can get it up into the air. I don't know how high you'd like to go.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm right up in Allamar's face. I would like to go 90 feet into the air. Yeah, I'll take the full movement. Yeah.
And go ahead and roll for blank. Let's see if you disappear.
Goodness gracious, 12.
All right, you
That'll do it.
disappear to the ethereal plane. Next, the two armored gentlemen draw their rapiers, and you see kind of they reach around behind them and pull out a dagger as they descend on Shikara. They're both very fast. The first one gets up to you, very much like how Shaft wields his own rapier. 2 pokes they try to get at you. An 18 and a 17.
Neither one hit.
Sure, reflecting off of your armor, and they come around with a dagger strike, which is a 22.
22 gets me.
5 piercing damage from the first one. The second one catches up. Again, 2 more rapier strikes and a dagger. Wow, those are all very low. And then another dagger hits with a 24. 7 more piercing. Which, of course, both attacks reduced by 3, right?
Yes. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Allamar is next. Falzaren, you're taking off. He just yells, "I've no need for either of you." And he can't target Falzaren because he's on the ethereal plane. So he'll just point at Shikara and cast Power Word Pain.
I suppose I like pain better than the alternative.
Yeah.
I don't even know what power.
He speaks a word of power that causes waves of intense pain to assail Shikara. If you have fewer than 100 hit points,
I do.
you are racked with this crippling pain. While this wave of torturous feelings are ripping across your body, your speed can be no higher than 10. You have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, other than Constitution saving throws. And if you try to cast a spell, you must make a con saving throw, or the cast fails. Target suffering this pain can make a con saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending it with a success. And Allamar will back up, gets towards Dreg, toward his old friend. And Shikara, you are next.
So I am in pain.
Just crippled pain. I imagine you're just hunched over, trying to resist against it. Just still trying to hold on to your sword with these 2 rapier and dagger wielding people on you and attacking you.
Allamar! It does not need to be like this! Call off your dogs! And I will try and attack, I'll try and attack one of them, but not to kill, with the idea of knocking them out, but still attacking. So I'm attacking with disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh, crap. Stupid disadvantage. That's an 11 to hit.
That's going to be a miss.
Okay, and then my second attack is worse. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay, so you can make that con saving throw at the end of your turn?
Oh, yeah. That's with disadvantage also?
No, that's the thing that is then. Yeah. Otherwise, that spell would be rough.
18.
You are fine. Your protective aura that radiates out from you, bolstering your fight against this pain as it starts to recede. The same waves that racked across your body kind of recede back out, and you are no longer under the effects of Power Word Pain. Dreg is next. Now Allamar within 10 feet of him, having backed up away from Shikara. Allamar, please. I can't let you do this. You must be stopped. And really all Dreg can do, he definitely doesn't want a fireball, but he will send out magic missiles directly into Allamar. Upcasting to 2nd level. 4 darts. Assault Allamar's bent and aged body. Only 9 force damage. Ooh, that was not good. But Dreg clearly having taken a stance in this fight. The 2 young wizards, they appear terrified. Really straight confusion across their face. And they each kind of find each other and huddle, moving away from this battle.
I'll look at them and I'll say, back off!
You roll me intimidation check.
Ooh, let's see, where is intimidation? That is a 24.
Okay. If you thought they looked frightened before, now these young children look terrified. Falzaren.
What does Shikara look like as far as how beaten she is? Beaten and bloodied.
A little tired, but not terrible.
So I'm gonna yell, Allamar, stop this now! This is madness! And my voice carries on into the shatter spell, and I'm going to try and create a booming sound directly on Allamar's location.
Okay, so he makes a Constitution saving throw, right?
Yeah, con save.
He gets an 18.
So that ties. No, sorry, mine's 16. He passes.
Okay, so he'll take half damage.
Yep. So he takes half of 13.
Okay, so he'll take 7. And then?
So there's only one more Pegasus, eh?
Well, there's still 2 up somewhere.
There are 2 up kind of around now, kind of about where you are.
There's 1 on the ground with me.
They don't really have any magical ability, though. Okay. I think I'm just going to hold where I am.
Roll for blank.
Right. 9. So I fail.
The swashbucklers is what they are. Again, stabby, stab at Shikara. Rapiers, 16 and an 8. And dagger for a 25.
Those dang daggers.
7 piercing. Second swashbuckler. Okay, well, with a 19 and an 18.
Nope, neither hits.
And the dagger is only a 10. Allamar now, near death, his ears ringing. His body injured from these magical darts that Dreg has sent. And he just gives Dreg that angered scowl he's had on his face now for the majority of your interaction with you. But he draws his attention to Falzaren, pointing towards you and your Pegasus to cast a circle of death.
Oh, that sounds very warm and welcoming.
Uh-oh.
Do you have a reaction?
Oh, I suppose I do, don't I? No, I don't. I used... I don't have any spell slots to do, what's it called? Counterspell.
Okay, part of the new spell you got when we leveled up after the last batch of sessions. Around you, this sphere of negative energy, it's almost like, the heat ripples off of hot asphalt, just around this shimmer in this 60-foot radius around you. Could you and the Pegasus make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Come on, Falsey.
It's not bad. 18 for Falsey. Do you want me to do the Pegasus as well?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh boy. A 6 plus whatever the Pegasus con.
It does have a +3 to its con, but that is only a 9. So the Pegasus fails. You do succeed, Falzer.
Oh, I'm 90 feet in the air. Fudge muffin. This is the danger of getting on a Pegasus when you're battling a wizard.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have gone the full 90 feet.
I know.
So this spell deals 8d6 necrotic damage, half as much on a successful save.
How many hit points does a Pegasus have?
200, I think. Last I checked.
At least, you're right.
Yep.
So Falzaren, you'll take 15 necrotic damage. The Pegasus will take 31. And very unfortunately, this Pegasus was Falzaren's, one that got caught in Sardo's lightning. And the Pegasus dies. And Falzaren falls 90 feet.
Shit.
That's a lot of falling damage. Shield doesn't help me out in this situation.
Falzaren, you're free falling now as the Pegasus goes limp underneath you, and you both start to fall and you collapse, smashing in to the rock, taking 40 bludgeoning damage from your fall.
Falzaren is unconscious.
Allamar! What have you done?
Shikara, you're up.
How far away from me did he fall?
Falzaren fell 40 feet away from you. You can see him, his body crippled and broken, lying on the stone. The rain beating down on him. beating down on all of you.
And I only have Cure Wounds, which is touch. I will use my action to find familiar, and I will have that take a form of, let's go pseudo dragon, and I can cast that 30 feet away from me, so it'll be closer to Falzaren. With my find familiar, I can have it. If I cast, I think I got to double check on this. I think if I cast the spell, it can do it. It can deliver the spell.
Yes, when you cast his spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast it. So, your familiar does have its own initiative. So go ahead and roll for it. See where it goes.
2.
Okay.
Fudge.
Does your pseudo-dragon have a name?
Oh gosh, I thought about this.
Shikara.
No, that's not going to be it. I was actually thinking Sparky.
I like it.
I like that.
Sparky at the bottom of the initiative.
But since I used my action to cast Find Familiar, it would have to be after my next turn that it could deliver the Cure Wounds?
Yes. So your familiar, if it's within 100 feet of you, it will use its reaction to deliver the spell you cast on your turn.
Okay. So now I could bonus action.
Yeah?
Which doesn't leave me with much. I don't think there's anything I can do with my bonus action. Everything else I can do is an action. Okay.
Dreg, witnessing his pal Falzaren.
I want to say, sorry.
Oh, sure.
Dreg, get on the Pegasus! Get out of here!
Wow. Okay, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
What would Dreg do?
Dreg, taking Shikara's advice, gets on to the Pegasus still on the ground. And he will have it move to Falzaren, attempting to stabilize him. That will be his action, to try to stabilize Falzaren. He'll make a medicine check that he fails, unfortunately. But he's not going to abandon you. He will remain there atop the Pegasus. The young wizards, still terrified, especially after Shikara's intimidation, huddled together, grasping each other in this storm, watching this happen, watching people die again before their eyes. Sparky.
Sparky is going to... It took me a second to realize who Sparky was. Sparky is going to move over to Falzaren, and that's really all he can do for now.
Falzaren, you're at the top with the death saving throw.
Just checking to make sure I didn't have inspiration.
Oh no!
Wow, I have a lot of it to spend.
I know you do. That's a fail.
One fail. Shikara, you hear, even amidst the storm, Falzaren's gurgles coming out and blood spurting out of his mouth as he's clinging to life. The swashbuckler's still on you. Stab, stab, stab. One rapier, finally, with a 24. Well, the rapier's only 5 damage. 5 piercing. And the dagger misses from the first one. The second one, oh my goodness. Wow, your armor is just too much. Your armor and your shield, they just can't get their piercing damage through. And any that does land, still inhibited by your heavy armor. Allamar rears on you, Shikara. See the malevolence almost dripping from his gaze.
Hey, Bill, next time we fight a very powerful wizard, let's have a long rest first.
Yeah, I had forgotten how depleted of resources Falsey was.
Yeah.
Raising his gnarled hands, still able to adeptly cast despite their arthritic nature. His black beam of energy surges from his fingertips, hitting you, Shikara. So he makes a spell attack, which is like a 27.
That hits.
And it affects you. So he is, as long as he maintains concentration, you deal only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. Again, at the end of your turns, you can make a con saving throw to end the effects.
Okay.
You're up.
I will cast Cure Wounds, 2d8 plus 4.
Through Sparky.
Through Sparky. So on Sparky's turn, he will deliver.
No, it happens right away. Sparky uses his reaction, so it happens right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So that is 14 points of health.
Bless your heart.
Bless you, child. Bless you.
And that is my action. So that's all I get. Allamar, look what you are doing. We are not your enemy.
Falzaren gasps back to life. Looks around from the ground.
Dreg regards Falzaren now conscious. Relief across his face, but again, it's almost like you've never seen Dreg this angry. And again, he just brandishes his hands against him. And the red, familiar to Falzaren and Shikara, bead of energy blasts out as he fireballs Allamar.
Oh my.
Adeptly this time, catching only him. Allamar makes a dex saving throw. Ooh, it's going to be close. Fails, taking full damage. 36 fire damage.
Wow.
Good boy, Dreg.
Washing over Allamar's body. The young wizards still embracing each other during this fight. Sparky, you're up.
Sparky is going to fly back towards me. He was, how far away from me was he? Less than 60 feet? Okay, so he can fly back to me, and then he can try and bite one of the mercenary guys that are attacking me. That is a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay.
And Shikara, we forgot to make your con saving throw at the end of your turn to end the Ray of Enfeeblement.
That is 20.
That is a success.
Having a +9 on con is very nice.
That's excellent. Falzaren, to the top with you.
So I'm currently Pegasus-less.
Dreg is the top one right next to you. You are on the ground.
There's no Pegasus for Shikara.
Not currently on the ground. Again, there's still the two up in the air.
Now, is Blink done? It's not a concentration spell.
It lasts for its duration.
Okay, so I will.
We
roll
technically
for the
should
end
have
of this.
had you rolling because your body, unconscious, could have blinked to the ethereal plane.
That would have been cool.
Well,
To be unable to
wouldn't
be
be able
aided.
to be rescued. Okay.
So you know what? Since we did it, I'm going to have it end.
Okay, that's fair.
Allamar looks very, very hurt. He seems to barely be able to keep standing even with his cane.
The orientation of people surrounding Allamar, if I'm looking at
He's
something
by
that's going to
himself.
be AoE, there's no one within like 10 feet of him.
No, he's 40 feet from Shikara and like all of you, basically. He's off by himself.
I would like to try and hop aboard with Dreg and then cast a spell.
So that half your movement to stand up and the other half to get on the Pegasus, you definitely have all of it to expend to get on.
Okay. I would like to cast one of Falzaren's new spells, using up his last 4th level slot. And this is called Gravity Sinkhole.
Whoa.
You see this tiny little, almost like a dark, like marble, sort of start to pulse and expand just above Allamar. It's going to create a 20-foot radius sphere of crushing force. And he's going to have to make a Constitution saving throw.
He gets a 2.
That's a fail. Yes, Falzaren is supremely pissed at this point. He's giving up on words. 29 force damage.
Very nice.
He is sucked up into the air towards the origin of this ball of force, and then he will land prone, I believe.
So he lifts up 20 feet and then slams back down,
That's right.
taking more fall damage. Wow. Takes another 10 fall damage. Good job. All right, these swashbucklers still just trying to chip away at Shikara. Man, Shikara is a tank. A 20 hits you? It meets your AC?
20, yeah. 20 is my AC.
So one rapier and one dagger get through from the first guy. A total of 15 damage, so reduced by 6 total.
9.
Second swashbuckler gets one rapier in, and that's it, for 11 piercing.
So 8.
Yeah.
Still standing.
Allamar gets up to his feet. Also too angry for words, it seems. You see his eagle-headed cane. The eyes begin to glow. and he just taps it 2 times on the ground. And in front of him appear 2 shield guardians. A second passes, and you see him smile. But the shield guardians crumple into pieces. As you see, they're completely waterlogged from being tossed into the sea.
Yes!
Covered in seaweed and
We did
grime
something
from
right!
the ocean.
Suck on that, Allamar.
And again, that snarky grin that formed on his face, just that scowl takes over. And he lifts his cane into the air and just pointing it and his free hand at Shikara with a critical hit on a ray of sickening.
He's casting 2 spells?
He activated his cane and is casting a spell.
What is he throwing at me this time?
This is a ray of sickness.
Another con save? Fingers crossed.
You do get to make a con save, but he made a spell attack, so it hits you, and he did crit. So max damage plus a roll, a total of 27 poison damage. And if you're still conscious, you can make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, disease. I'm immune to disease. That's not poison. 27, you said?
Yep.
You just need to be undead.
Apparently. Shikara is looking really weak. Really, really weak. But I am still standing.
Wow.
That is a 15 for the con save.
That is a pass. So you avoid being poisoned until the end of your next turn. And Shikara, you're up.
Gonna take 2 swings at the guy in front of me.
All right.
19 plus 7 is a 25.
A hit.
What is 19
Yeah.
plus 7?
That's it.
For 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And bring the sword around again, and I critted.
Ooh.
Is that a
Do
girl?
you have any slots to smite?
No. I have no slots for anything. I have nothing. That is 16, 17, 19 points of damage.
Very nice. He looks incredibly bad as you cut into him, slicing some of his armor into ribbons, but he's still on his feet.
Okay, I do, if it gets to that point, I want to knock him out, not kill him.
Okay. Dreg, now on this Pegasus with Falzaren, is just going to magic missile. I mean, it's really all he has. But he's just going to blast as much power into this as he has left, using a 5th level spell slot.
Oh, auto hit with a 5th level spell slot.
6 magical darts, enough to take down the same one that Shikara cleaved into. As the swashbuckler's rapier and dagger drop to the ground, followed quickly by his dead body, actually. The 2 young wizards, seeming to have no intention of joining this fight on either side. Sparky, you're up.
Sparky, I forgot he can only attack if I forego one of my attacks. So since I took both attacks, he cannot attack.
Okay.
So, he's just gonna cheer me on.
Falzaren.
How big were those crystals that we took from the Rising 3?
About softball size.
Less than 5 pounds, or less than 6 pounds, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one from my bag of holding and launch it at Allamar using catapult.
Okay. So does he make a dexterity saving throw?
He makes, yes, a dex save, needing to beat 60.
That's a critical fail.
Yes. All right. Come on, dice, don't let me down. 19, bludgeoning.
As this softball-sized, kind of elongated fuel cell smashes Allamar right in the chest, it bursts on impact, as it is made of crystal. And the bluish-black liquid inside seems to ignite, and this brief ball of blue flame, as it hits him, erupts. And his cane goes flying away from him, and his body falls to the ground unmoving. The last swashbuckler sees Allamar drop, and his compatriot also, slumped on the ground, puts down both of his weapons and raises his hands in front of Shikara. Shikara, you're up.
Nice hit, Falzaren. I'll look at the swashbuckler. What are you going to do now? Still sword in hand.
I just want to get in the city. I thought Allamar, he's run the city for so long. I followed him. He's the elder. He's the head elder.
Allamar is corrupted. Was corrupted. He is no longer the man that he once was. Will you aid us?
Yes, of course. I just want to get to safety. What happened at the dock was terrible.
All we want is to save the city. That's not asking much.
What do we do now?
I don't know what we do now. Dreg, Shikara, are you alright? Can you carry on?
I am hurt, but still standing. I will do what needs to be done.
I suppose we need to check on the others that went inside the encampment.
Speaking of, let's go back to John and Elena. Yeah, let's boot Emily and Falzy off mic.
Good job, Bill. High five.
High five. I thought I was dead for sure.
Me too.
Alright, Emily and Falzaren are going off mic.
Erica and Sardo, Shaft and Mia, you make it through the activity of the cultists. Again, that wide berth they're giving both of you. South to the edge of the mountains. Up overhead, as you were approaching them, you don't see any sign of the Pegasi in the air.
Oh, great.
Crap. Thor!
Looking down on the road that heads south towards the docks, are there people on the docks? I mean, on the road headed towards the docks.
It seems that yes, cultists have started to filter as they're taking barrels down this road heading south to Port Heraklion, or what's left of it.
What do we see up in the sky? It's just the Pegasi are not there.
From where you are, you just see the storm that's raging above, looking up into this torrential downpour.
I think we just keep on hoofing it.
Do you want to go into the mountains again? Off of the road? You're quickly running out of time on your polymorph.
Oh, yeah, we have to.
We need to hide.
Yeah, we have to go back up in the mountains, so.
We need to hide, Shaft. I will pray to Thor.
Okay, while you're praying, let's keep hoofing it, and let's try to get.
I'm running and praying.
Let's try to get back to where we can at least, hopefully, get over the top of the mountains and get a better view. Maybe we can see where they are.
Herafina will understand, and Thor will understand that I'm not on my knees bending or anything. I'm just hoofing it, and Thor, I could use the Pegasus right now.
I think we're going to, go on full speed, and since we're together in the mountains, we should be able to make just as good a time as those on the road.
Absolutely.
So we're going to continue to head down. My thought process is I better go back and hide that body that we never hid, and also find those two.
Okay, so you'd like to return to that kind of clearing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely get there. And as yes, you are gaining elevation, and you can see more of the road that leads to Port Heraklion, now getting populated more and more by the cultists moving down towards it. And on the other side of it, on the western side of the road, as this road has these two strips of this mountain range that border it. You see, once you hit the clearing with all the dead, Erica's actual body and where the battle ensued, you see
all the dead
flashes, all the dead Ericas. You see flashes of blue energy being radiated from the other side of the road, and you see Falzaren on atop a Pegasus fly into the air as he goes the full 90 feet up above the spot that he originated from and took off from, and then that familiar shimmer and blink as he disappears to the ethereal plane atop this Pegasus.
With the Pegasus?
Not with the Pegasus. The Pegasus stays, but Falzaren himself just disappears. An effect that you've both seen and are familiar with.
Shaft, something must be happening.
That's the battle cry of Falzaren.
It is. It's his first move every time.
I look around. Do I see anything else, or do I hear anything that might be lead me to believe where the battle might be?
From this side, the state of this clearing has not changed since you left it, but you do see the 2 other Pegasi circling in the air around Falzaren's, and he comes back into existence seconds later. And around him and this Pegasus, the air itself begins to shimmer and radiate.
Whoa.
You see Falzaren clutch his chest, and the Pegasi rears up, and they both fall to the ground.
How far away is he from where we are?
He's probably a few hundred feet, as he's kind of like on the other side of the road, right? Which is about a 50-foot wide road, and into the mountains a little bit.
Are we back to our original form?
Yes, by now, as you've reached this clearing, the hour has ended on the polymorph effect.
Shaft, we need to go help him!
Coming down this road, will the cultists that are coming down end right here and see everything that's happening?
No, so because you're up high, you have the vantage of seeing, and you can't even actually see the battle yet, right? But you have seen Falzaren up. But you can gauge the slant of the terrain and that stuff from the road. You don't think that anything will be able to be seen from the dip between the valley that's created that is the road.
All right, I'll go down and grab him. You stay here and ready your lightning.
Yeah, but if he's dead, I'm his one chance for revival.
Okay, let's go then. And
let's go.
I'm going. Slide down the gravelly hillside. We
are sprinting
and haul ass as fast as I can towards Falzaren.
And you can, so he hasn't fallen into the road, right? He's fallen into the mountains on the other side, but you can find this gap in the cultist activity in the road and be able to get over and back up into the mountains, benefiting from Shaft's expertise in the terrain. And you come upon what looks like kind of this narrow path, a much lower elevation than where you had just descended from. And you come in time to see Falzaren up on his feet, sitting next to Dreg atop a Pegasus, the dead one that Falzaren had fallen from the sky next to Falzaren. You see Shikara contending with a man dressed in leather armor, wielding a rapier and a dagger. Another similarly clad figure dead at her feet. 2 young robed figures, they look very young, maybe like teenagers, are huddled off a few feet from them in the storm, looking very frightened. 40 feet from all these figures is Allamar. You recognize his hunched form and his hand on his cane. At his feet before him lie scattered pieces of armor that you recognize immediately as being parts of the shield guardians that you vanquished just a day ago, so far north of Heraklion. Waterlogged pieces and already starting to rust from the seawater after tossing them over the cliff. And you see Falzaren. He reaches into his bag and pulls out one of the fuel cells taken from the Rising 3, tossing it on the ground before him, waving his hands in the air and sending it flying, zooming at Allamar as it hits him in the chest and impacts in a fiery blue ball, killing him. And we can all get back on mic now.
Yay! I mean, I kind of heard you do Allamar's voice, like I said.
What?
John, because I had my headphones pulled out, but I could hear the raspy. I could hear.
Oh.
And I was like, dang it.
Shikara and Falzaren, you see quickly after Allamar falls, reverted back to their natural form. Shaft and Mia come sprinting up, down behind the path, right from the direction where you had originally landed, behind Allamar and his party.
Hammer in hand.
I pull out my bow and I notch an arrow, and I'm looking to see if there's anything that's around that's going to.
Is something following you?
Threat. What? I don't think so. What the hell's this?
What do you
mean?
Well, things didn't go so well. It's a long story, but Allamar is
He did
no
not
longer in
take
the land of the
kindly
living.
to me destroying his elixir.
Shaft and Mia,
just-
you see at
Wait.
Shikara's feet shards of glass and the very minimal remnants of this greenish-black liquid that was the elixir that you took from Allamar's library.
Ah, he was liching it up here?
Wait, wasn't that elixir in the Rising 3?
Yes, Grimby may be in trouble.
Yes.
I mean, we
He is
knew
still
that.
alive, according to Allamar, but the boat is in dire shape, and Grimby may be restrained, held captive, I don't know.
By who?
I don't
We
know.
do not know.
I can't
Allamar
believe
was
you guys
involved.
killed Allamar.
I cannot believe it either.
The swashbuckler with his arms up, he kind of lowers them. I don't know what Allamar did to your friend, but I don't think you're going to like it.
Why is that?
Allamar did speak the truth. He is still alive, but I don't know. Any stimuli gets no response from him.
Comatose?
Perhaps this was some magical ability that Allamar was maintaining over him, and now that we have vanquished Allamar, he will be free from it.
Do you know where Grimby is?
Yes, I can take you to the ship.
Tell me.
And he just kind of basically points in like the direct opposite direction of where he was falling, straight a few hundred feet to the shore. We beached where we could.
So Grimby is aboard the ship still.
He that is where we left him. Yes.
Well, the port is about to be crawling full of cultists.
So he is distinctly not pointing towards the port. He is pointing off, basically western, southwest compared to where the port would be. But
How fortunate that you beached in a different area.
So I run over and I put my bow down and run over and jump on the other remaining.
Wait, did you stop the vines?
Yeah.
Yes.
We sent them
Yeah.
all to the Falzaren Forest. They ought to be no threat for a while.
We executed the evacuation plan.
Come again?
And the vines are not
Well,
destroying the dome?
I think it's going to slow down drastically. They're not putting any more crap in it, and I think the air that's tearing it away is probably going to be stop it. The important thing is we've got all these guys. They're heading out. They're going back to their dome ships, and they're heading over to the other side of the world.
Would you mind showing me some proof that you are you?
Oh, and I pull my sleeve up.
Yep, sleeve up.
your marks are still there.
I do the same.
I look at Shikara.
I'll pull my sleeve up as well.
Dreg does as well.
Let's go get Grimby and get the hell off this island.
So Shaft, you still have Erica's harness on. Are you taking it off or are you keeping it on?
I don't think I'm going to turn back into Erica, so I'll take it off and go, anybody want to carry this thing around? I don't want another. It's holding me back. It's dragging on the ground, actually.
I can keep it for safekeeping. I don't think I want to use it either, but perhaps we can glean something from it when we have time.
All right, I'll hand it over to him.
Dreg, do you know anything about what was done to Grimby? Have you heard of such a thing?
I may suspect I will have to see him to be sure.
You must come with us then.
So, who are these two chumps? And I point over at the teenager.
Yeah, before we say anything more.
They were with Allamar, and I believe they didn't realize what they were getting into. They did not impede us or put up any fight. They're innocent bystanders for all that I'm concerned.
How do they know what happened to Grimby?
They were with Allamar.
I believe that they thought Allamar intended to do something good, but I don't know. I don't know what their true intentions are.
I mean, obviously, Allamar was on the boat if he got his elixir back.
And the swashbuckler speaks up. When the port was attacked, there was one ship. We were lucky we were close to it. As your friend, the captain, he beckoned for us and got as many of us on as he could before having to take off. He
That
saved
doesn't
us.
sound like Grimby.
We told him not to do that.
Grimby is a good man.
He is a good man.
He is.
Now, is he for sure our priority right now? These vines are unstable, but still a threat.
Hey, let's hop on the remaining horses here, the Pegasuses, and then we'll hop on there and do a flyby and see how the things are going, and then then go to the ship.
Sure, Shikara, hop on my Pegasus.
Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
It's probably the safest place for you.
I'm thinking that Thor would, override the system.
Okay, I will attempt to get on her Pegasus.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, Peggy.
Mia, can you roll me an animal handling check, please?
Oh, it ended up rolling 2. But the first one was 14.
Okay, you're fine. As Shikara mounts behind you, it does seem to be uneasy, but you're able to calm it and speak to it and communicate with it, and it's fine with Shikara getting on.
I'll turn to the other 3 guys. You hide and stay safe.
And the swashbuckler will nod as he kind of gathers the 2 young wizards, and they seek refuge in the mountains here.
Okay. I just sort of slap the reins and then head up high and then over to sort of give an overview of the dome to see if it still seems to be growing or if it's ceased.
Yeah, get sort of an idea.
For those that have been fighting the potential lich, you now see down the road that leads from the port to the city. It's brimming now with cultist activity. You see many of them are carrying barrels the barrels full of the black ooze, and no longer there's zero activity around the summoning pools, the vines of which are still sprouted and still covering the dome. And from here, when you first saw the vines, you could clearly see the progress even from a few miles away. And you see that it doesn't appear that any signs of progress are being made at all now. Now that there's no more of the black ooze being poured into the summoning pools, etc.
I wanted to say before I mount one of the Pegasus, I want to go over to Allamar's body and make sure his eyes are closed. And I would like to grab his cane.
Sure.
Do I search his body? I think I would like to look to see if there's any parchment, anything on his person that I think might be important.
He does have a spellbook on him.
Let's hope it's spells that you didn't just learn.
Right, I guess I will nab that.
You guess? Maybe?
Your face didn't translate to podcast. But,
No, I just tweaked out a little bit.
I will, of course, send you the full list of the spells that are in it. I'll put them in text for you.
I will also temporarily dismiss Sparky.
So you send him into that other place?
Yeah, he's in the pocket dimension to await my summons.
Oh, yeah. Shaft and Mia, you see this little
what the heck is Sparky?
Tiny dragon with this like scorpion tail tipped on the end of it.
Oh,
floating around, crawling over Shikara.
Wait, tell us.
Okay, even in the air, it's with you when you're on the Pegasus, and
I'll dismiss him before I get on the Pegasus.
okay.
Shikara, what was that?
I believe he's a new gift from Dendar.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh? He was quite useful. He helped save Falzaren's life.
Oh, I'm not doubting he's useful.
Without him, we may have lost us a wizard.
Well, who hasn't tried to save Falzaren's life?
She is telling the truth, Mia. I was very, very close to death. All right, let's make haste. So I will mount.
Back with Dreg?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dreg's driving. Okay. That's probably safest. So you go up, and again, so yes, Falzaren and Shikara and Dreg all see like the cultist activity, and you see that there's very clearly that they are starting to disperse from their encampment. A few of the tents have been disassembled, but many of them are just left standing. Seems they are just full on abandoning them.
Like I said, evacuation plan.
So you're gonna fly to the port to
where they said the boat that Grimby was on.
Absolutely. And as you travel southwest, Falzaren and Shaft and Mia, the three of you kind of recognize this area in which you're going. It seems you're incredibly close to where Falzaren would go and meet with the Tritons. A little further south than that, but you do come across a beached, elongated shell ship, half of it sticking out of the water onto the shore.
That's where I'm headed.
As you descend, you can see that it is heavily damaged, sort of listing to one side. Its lid seems to have been cracked open, but not fully enough where these people could get out of it. Half of it, again, still submerged in the water. 3 large holes appear to have been punched into the side of it. You can see a completely flooded lower deck. The linens from the cots that were down there washed and thrown to shore in the torrential of the waves that are caused by the storm.
So this is not a seaworthy vessel anymore.
It is clearly not going to float.
Down another ship.
Indeed. We need to stop rising them.
Another
naming
ship
them
bites the
rising.
dust.
Well, funny you say that. This ship might be called Submersible 6. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think I'll swoop down and if I land on the ground, is there a way I can enter into one of the holes on the ship without too much trouble?
If you want to swim into it, yeah, again, it's fully submerged. You'll be underwater. But you could also climb up onto the deck right where the lid and go down the stairs if they're intact.
I think I'll, let's sort of let the Pegasus drop me off up there close to the top where the lid is and sort of jump off and sort of slide down the lid.
Yeah, so it's listing to like its left, right, along the long axis of it. So it's fairly level as far as the deck goes, other than that, like, slants to the left. Is it just shaft?
Mia, take us down.
Yep. I would land on the deck, I think, and go from above.
Yeah, well, there's not quite enough room to actually land the Pegasus, but again, you could land on the shore and you could all climb in.
Yes, Drag, we should also go. Perhaps our arcane knowledge will be of assistance in Grimby's situation.
As you all descend the stairs to the mid-deck, kind of very careful, with your footing as the ship is slanted, you see that even down here, part of it is flooded. The rear of the ship being fully submerged. So you could put together that, the lowest deck would be completely filled with water. At the helm, the front panel of the lever control housing has been torn off and discarded. The shell-like tubules that run down to the strange creatures that provide the propulsion for the Rising Three, they've turned completely black. And the elixir, of course, that was stashed there a few days ago is missing, as Allamar had taken it. Slumped on the ground against the large spoked wheel that steers the ship lays Grimby Chum. His battle axe is stuck into the deck as if it had simply fell out of his hands. His eyes are glazed over, blankly staring straight ahead. A long drip of drool leaks from the side of his slack-jawed mouth.
And that's our show. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're the Incorrigible Par on Twitter, Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to incorrigibleparty.com for additional world and NPC information, and check out some of the merchandise there. Be the cool kid at your next game night by donning some Incorrigible Party apparel. Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Go to criticalhitdesign.com for your design needs. All ambient sounds and music are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can contact him for your own musical inquiries via email at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!